I have never seen one of these before in person, and I must say, this is a ridiculous outfit. And I think that there are a few reasons why this is better than the Super Baja that Ford creates. And I'm going to show you why in this video. I have to give a special shout out to Larry H. Miller in Sandy, Utah. Danny is a sales manager. He's actually a general sales manager, and he has allowed me to do this video. Be sure to check these guys out if you are in the market. Let's get into the video. Now, one thing I want to point out, this is an AEV Prospector XL. So this XL is going to upgrade the tires to a 40, and it's 40 inch. And that's my first point of why this is a better buy over the Super Baja. The Super Baja only comes standard with 37s. And obviously you can get this build in the 37, but that's not enough tire. If you want the tallest tire you can get a 40. And I've never seen 40s up close like this. They look really aggressive. I'm going to give you guys some more views on those tires here in a second. Another thing I like about this package is if you don't want the brush guard, you can get that as an option. So this one is an option. As you can see, it's bolted into the main bumper. Looks really good. And I like the fender flares too. Because of the offset with the wheel that they provided, you know, it does look flush with the fender flare. So you don't have to use wheel spacers here. They do it right from the factory, from AEV. Another thing to take note of are these tow hooks. These things are very, they're just on here. I mean, you can probably pull an airplane with this thing if you like. And they are using a worn winch too. This is going to be a 16.5 TIS, 16,500 pounds capacity. And this is a commercial grade winch. So they are using synthetic cable. And this is really the best of the best when you are looking at these types of winches too. And as you guys see, they have the lights. These are the light pods, and these are going to be optional too. And yeah, this is just a really nice build. Now, something else that I just noticed, you can see right here, you have these bars going down. This is going to protect that intercooler down below here. And that's just something cool about this build is, with the Power Wagon, you can't get a Cummins engine. This is a Cummins equipped truck. So that's another cool feature about this build if you are looking for something like this. You can see the brush guard does come around to the side too. And this is going to be a steel bumper too, not plastic, as you would expect on a truck like this. And I like how they retain the fog lights too. And they also, because of, you know, this little trim piece here, they do retain these parking sensors. You also have two up front. So as I mentioned, I mean, they just did a really good job making this truck look like it came like this from the factory. And most people probably would think it did. Alright, so check out this wheel design. This is going to be a AEV wheel. It's a Catla 10. And this is the Cooper Discover tire that they're using. It's going to be a 40 by 13.5. 17-inch wheel, and this is still an LT tire. Load range C, and here's the capacity. So you can still tow with this truck. 3,195 pounds is the capacity per tire, and it seems to be a pretty robust tire. I don't think you're probably going to be looking to tow fifth wheels with this, but if you're towing a travel trailer, you know, maybe 7,000-8,000 pounds, you could easily do that with these tires. I mean, actually, you can go a little bit higher, honestly, because the hitch weight won't be much more than 1,000 pounds. Now, this one does have a upgraded shock suspension on here too. So they are using a AEV dual sport. It is through Bilstein. So this is going to help soften the ride too. I don't see that this truck was lifted, however. I don't see any blocks in here. It looks like those are still the factory shocks here. I'll put in the video whether that is the case or not. But this does look like the stock suspension besides the shock absorbers that they're using here. So take a look inside of the wheel well here. They did provide a trim piece that would protect, you know, any rocks and any mud getting inside the fender. And it just goes to the build quality to this setup here too. I also noticed that they added side markers because of the extra width you're getting with this fender flare. Because this is already a pretty big truck. They do provide these LED side markers. for the front and rear.
This AEV does have the power deployable running boards.
So my next point is, the reason why this is a better buy than the Super Baja is because you can get this on any trim level you like. So if you want the Laramie, which this one is, you can get it there. If you want another tradesman, let's just say you want to get a purpose-built tradesman for off-roading and you don't want all the frills, you can do that, and that gives you a lower price point. And with the Super Baja, you only can get it in the ultimate Lariat. So that's something that's really cool about this build is you don't have to necessarily get the most expensive trim level. Although the Lariats have the highest trim, that does add a lot of money, up front on that truck there. And you're going to be priced probably well over $130,000 after additional dealer markup, things like that. Out back, you guys can see that trim piece below here, and your wheel well is still there for the back. And then that other corner light. I love the fact that they give the rear these really nice, robust mud flaps too. And check out the rear bumper. They do provide some cup holders on the back too. Now it looks like this bar kind of comes off to the side here to protect the side of the bed here. It's really cool. And one thing that's really cool about Ram is if you did option your truck with the air suspension, you could have that additional function, so you still have that control if you're towing a trailer. Now this rear bumper does retain the parking sensors as you saw up front. You do have the rear reverse lights, the little pods, and check out the light that they're using here for your tag. It's pretty cool. And they still retain your 4 and 7 pin. Looks really aggressive. And you have a better look at how wide those tires are too. Really nice. And looks like they have a Cummins turbo diesel badge out back with the AEV. And let's check out what's going on back here. So as you guys can see, they do provide a stand for their spare tire. That does look really nice. And I almost probably would prefer it on the right side so you can kind of see out of the back window on the driver's side. But luckily this truck does have backup camera, and you have these huge mirrors too, so that'll help the visibility. I wanted to move the AEV Prospector so you guys can see the stance a little bit better, and I think I just confirmed what I just said earlier. I don't see that this suspension's been altered for height. I think the only height you're getting is from these 40-inch tires. So I believe they come with like a 33-inch tire from the factory, and that's where you're getting most of your lift. I mean, this truck does look taller for sure, but man, it looks so good. I did take the covers off the front lights too. That way you can get a better look at how it looks with them off. Now let's take a look at the interior, and I'll show you a few more things on the outside. Now I did not expect anything to be different on the inside, but as you can see, they do change the layout of the cluster, which actually looks really nice. It has the AEV badge on there, and on top of that, you have the AEV embroidered in the rear headrest too, even the back ones. I did see a plate on this side of the door too. Hopefully I'll remember to show it to you. And it looks like they actually show you a new gross vehicle, well, not gross vehicle weight, they show you a new payload number too, because you are altering the vehicle, and I'll show that to you guys in a little bit. But last thing, I'll show you the interior. This is basically the same interior. It's the Laramie leather seats. It has the ventilated seats. This has an optional 12-inch display. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I want to show you guys the wheels and tires with the steering wheel full click too right there. But before I do that, you do have two auxiliaries that they're using for the lights up front. I'm going to push auxiliary number 1. Let's go check out which lights came on. So as you can see, your outboard lights came on. If you push auxiliary number 2, the 2 center lights come on. And man, these lights are super bright. I can't even look at them. They're so bright. And what I like is you can run these lights without your headlights on or anything. I love that. And I'm sure you wanted to see all four of them at the same time. You have your daytime running lights on, which is really good. These lights are crazy bright. Wow, they're so bright. Even in the daylight, they're so bright. And I'm pretty sure some people would like to see all lights on at the same time. So these are the headlights, fog lights, everything. But yeah, these pods are ridiculously dark. I can't even look at them. I don't even know if I'm pointing the camera there. And these are through AEV. You can feel the heat from them too. And I mean, that's why you see these veins here. These veins help to cool them down, especially if you're just sitting at a standstill. And I do have the steering wheel turned pretty much full, as you can get it. And you're not even close. Not even close. So they have like an upgraded steering on this one too. I'll show that to you in a second. I think you guys can see it right there. Pretty cool. And then on this side, the only thing that really matters is out back here. You're not touching that radius arm at all. You're not even close to it. You probably have about 5 inches, maybe 6 inches away. That's really cool. Now, although the Super Baja does give you a plate, and I think they're like limited to a certain amount of number, you still get something similar from AEV, which is American Acquisition Vehicles. And it shows you the manufacture date, the ID number, all that good stuff. So if you need to, claim something on the warranty, you basically can use that to give them the information for your truck. And just be sure to pause it here. Here's some of the information for this one. All the standard equipment. And then here are some of the options that were picked. And as you guys know, I always go over the numbers on the door. So the gross fuel weight rating cannot be changed. It's 10,000 pounds. Gross axle is going to be 6,000. The rear is going to be 6,390. Those two cannot be changed. And this does have a 17 by 10 inch wheel, which is why I was able to handle a 40 by 13 and a half. And all in, Payload is $15.59. So with all the additional features on this truck, the tires, the front brush guard, all that, even the mount and bed of the tire, that's going to really lower the payload capacity. But one thing I would mention is I would definitely remove this tire out back, because that's probably about 100 pounds right there that you can pick up on. So I hope this video was helpful. Special shout out to Larry H. Miller for allowing me to do this video. I've never seen one before. No one on the East Coast does the AEVs that I can see, and I think they should start, because this is really awesome. See you in the next video.
Really quickly, I wanted to show you guys the towing numbers and the original payload for this truck. Now, as you guys know, if you get a diesel, that's always going to lower the payload capacity. So this truck has a max payload before the upfit of 2,129 pounds. The truck had a 1,559 pound payload after the fact. So figure 570 pounds was lost for those upfits. So that's something that you always want to keep in mind. As I mentioned in the video, you can take off that spare tire, and that would definitely give you another 100 pounds. So all in all, this truck and most 3/4 ton trucks are better suited for travel trailers, things like that. But again, thanks for watching the video.